Sports. And we've got Byron Murphy. He got the QB not once, but twice last week with a pair of interceptions. It's the Cowboys and the Bengals, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, you look at our quarterback matchup in this ball game, that's where the focus naturally gravitates. And I think we have a fairly interesting one here.
And I think for me, and this isn't an original thought by any stretch, and probably for these two head coaches as well, the key for them is going to be limiting the turnovers, limiting the free possessions. I mean, this isn't saying anything you don't already know, but you've got to be able to make the most out of your drives and see if your defense can help you out, take the ball away from the other team, and give you a few extras.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by the second overall pick from BYU, now in his second season, Zach Wilson.
And we all know the scouting report on him. He can attack the field at all levels with a very strong arm and make big-time plays off schedule. We also see a player with confidence and swagger. We see a guy who knows how to lead a team, who knows how to compete, and wants to be great every time he hits the field.
Here's Wilson to throw right away. He's got Tunyon complete over the middle. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
First play, Wilson wants to throw it. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Throwing on second and long. Wilson, throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Aleem McNeil. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And they needed to be because their offense struggled throughout the game. Sometimes as a defense, you're not just shutting down the opposing team's offense, but you have to outplay their defense as well, and that's what they did in their last game.
A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Bengals had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And what doubly stings for them, CD, they lose week 1 at home, and now here on the road week 2. So it's certainly not a must-win, but boy, you hate to start a season with 2 straight losses.
Yeah, because you sort of feel like you're playing from behind right from the beginning, and that can really mess with your confidence. Plus, if you get to 0-2, here come the articles, here comes the sports talk shows, pointing out the small percentage of teams that make the playoffs after they begin a season 0-2. Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now Wilson. This one completes a Tunyon underneath. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 80 yards.
That's a good start to the season. They got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Here's Blake Gillikin now. And no return here. Where will they spot him? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now here's a throw that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. Powers through it. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. He'll drop to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. A first down carry for Henry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Moving offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
He'll look to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Right, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays, because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Out of the gun now on third down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on fourth down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
A great open field tackle is going to stop him shy of the goal line. The big back Derrick Henry held out of the end zone. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to pump the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
On 2nd down and 4, Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Now it's Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And, oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right? Where these teams are locked in and going at it. No points going up on the scoreboard. I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the PI decline, and that'll give them a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
His pass caught at the 4. And the Bengals are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Here we go now on first and goal. Hines will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Singletary to get the drive started. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Ready.
On third down, they go with Singletary. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Blake Gilligan on to punt here as he'll send this one away. Taking it about the 36. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's complete to Cook. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Derrick Henry, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2. And they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. One play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp. And at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he going to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Now Wilson on 1st down. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. They find some open field here. And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Again, Wilson. And that is incomplete. And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down. On 2nd and 10, Wilson. Rager catches it left side. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw is Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 5. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd down and 5. To throw again is Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Bengals grab it through an opening, and there he goes. The 40. Past the 20. And he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play in the first half.
They just had to hold on to the ball.
Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
Carlson on for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Ezekiel Elliott, well over 100 yards on the ground with 3 touchdown runs. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And at halftime, they trail the visiting Seahawks in that ball game. Justin Herbert with 2 touchdown passes. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Andy Dalton, 3 touchdown passes as his guys moved to 2-0 on the young season. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for the Bengals in that first half. And they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary, as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half. Both teams making their final preparations for this second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They're on top here as they've got the football 1st and 10, trying to erase the memory of the loss last week to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Second half begins with a run by Henry. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Henry. And some space here. 57 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him. Are things looking much rosier for him here in week 2? They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Uses the stiff arm and taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And complete right side to Cook. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 23. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They'll look to throw now on first down. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. Touchdown, Bengals. Quez Watkins. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. Take it in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Forced out to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Make that now 3 straight 2-yard gains. Here's A.J. Cole now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
Yeah, this defense as a whole has really been flying to the football all game long. They have not allowed too much of anything. And here's another example. A great play there to get in and disrupt it before it could get going.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Wilson. Hauled in over the middle by Rager. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Wilson. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. There's Wilson to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 15. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 97 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Again, it's Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
This is Hines. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Here's Hines. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Wilson. That'll be caught. Rager with it. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's Wilson.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. And the Cowboys are able to recover. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Cincinnati, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.